Hello, hello. Welcome back to the Full Flap Sim channel. Thanks for joining me to check out iFLY's new 737 MAX 8. This has probably been one of the most anticipated 737 add-ons, and geez, well, when was the last time we got a new 737? It was PMDG's 2020 release, right? So, super stoked to get this add-on. Jump in, try it out. I've been busy doing some real-world flying, so I just had the chance to install this morning, and we'll jump in and give it a go. So you guys are getting my very first impressions of the iFLY on a quick flight. We got a guy coming to install gas for the grill here in a couple hours, so it's going to be kind of a time-compressed stream, but here we go. So, welcome to the chat, guys. Brian, got VATSIM set up or not? Dude, I considered doing it for this stream, and then I rage quit just because I don't know, man. The whole putting your real name on a flight sim account and how they kind of took a stand on that. I just don't love that. I may do Pilot Edge or something for ATC for you guys. I don't know. Still trying to figure out a solution, but yeah, not doing VATSIM today. V1 coming to you from Creme de la Crepe in Long Beach. Oh man, dude, an overnight. Forgot to bid, dude. That's terrible. Hate to hear it. AJ, California. Yeah, dude. Long Beach is actually pretty cool though. That's a good layover. Let's see. AJ, welcome. Gray shirt. All West Coast streams. Why do you hate the East Coast, dude? Same reason all airline pilots hate the East Coast, man. Weather. No, we'll do some East Coast streams. I was just looking for something short that I was familiar with, so that I could kind of focus on the airplane and not necessarily a new or unfamiliar airport. So, Blackbird, howdy, man. Looking forward to a package in the mail from Blackbird that I can throw in my drawer until I get a Honeycomb Bravo. Christopher, Marco, how you guys doing? Diabetic Lad, hoping for flap sounds, unlike on some other streams. We'll see. All right, AJ off to the meeting. Sweet. Throw an AirPod in, man. I won't tell. All right. So like I said, we're a little bit time compressed, so it's going to be a little bit less detailed than my past streams here. And I'd like to qualify this with I am not a MAX pilot. I fly the venerable next generation, so there may be some things I'm unfamiliar with on the MAX, although I have been to differences training in theory. So let's get started. All right, we'll get the battery on here. 24 volts, that looks good. That's on standby power. We got 31 volts somehow on the battery. It's a 24 volt battery, so I don't know how they got 31 volts out of it. But okay, that's fine. All right, ground power starting off strong here. Got the standby power. The bus transfer switches are good. Bleeds are on. APU bleed is off. We got six green lights. Those are all good. The alternate flaps are off. The switch is off and the flaps match the gauge at up. So we'll go ahead and throw ground power on. Get the power cooking here, and then we'll start the upper overhead pre-flight. All right, so we got all the lights here. ELT is down and guarded. That checks good. Elevator jam assist. That is a new feature for the MAX. NG does not have this, and this was enabled by the fly-by-wire spoilers that the MAX has. Maintenance light. That's a PSEU light in the NG. It's now a maintenance light. All right, on DC. That should go out. We'll get the dome light on here while we get pre-flighted. All right, all the lights are good. We got our oxygen, and we'll have to come back to those. All right, so we'll jump in. Overall, the cockpit is pretty well modeled. It looks geometrically, I think it's probably more accurate than the PMDG, especially around the window area here. PMDG had there's been some continuing gripes in the PMDG around this area, and so the view outside looks very accurate. So good on iFLY for getting that right. We'll jump in the working man's seat here, and we'll start plugging away at the box. Water, welcome, dude. Not a real MAX driver. This is a scam. Yeah, dude. All right, so we jump in ACARS. We do that. All right, ident. 737-8, 28K engines. Awesome. Got the right air rack in there, and 14.1 software in the FMS. So that is the most up-to-date program. The 0.1 is talks about the tail skid. So this is interesting because this is 14.1 software with the adjustable or the two-position tail skid. All right, position. We'll fire up the IRS is at Salt Lake City. Grab the GPS position. Plug it in. I don't know how to do the route uplink yet, so we're going to manually hand jam all of our points in the box. Not going to have any wins or anything today. None of the data link functionality from SimBrief. I couldn't get that working this morning prior to jumping on stream, so we're just going to do it live, and I'll learn how to work those features for you guys in a future stream. But runway, we're going to take off a 16 left here at Salt Lake City. Departures and arrivals. We will be on the Zions 1 EHK. All right, and we're going to take that to the ILS runway 26 left. The Zulu from Prino, which should join up to the Chow 2 Stu transition. That's our entire route. We're going to activate, execute that. Make sure we don't have a discontinuity. We do. We'll take Stu, bump it up there, execute. That's all fine. Zero fuel weight. Can we click that? We can. All right. FMS reserve fuel is going to be 5.3 today. Cost index is 65. Cruise altitude. We're going up to 30. And not going to worry about winds, ice, deviation, any of that. Execute. That works fine. Cruise at 30, going to 22. That's set in the overhead. Okay. And then we'll go to, I also wasn't able to find a performance calculator insofar as, so we can type in SLC, search. Okay, got Salt Lake City, we said 16 left, no intersection, it's dry, winds are calm, OAT is 19, QNH, Magic Bear ref key 3003. But now, what I was kind of looking for in here is this is all the stuff that I want the computer to pick for me, right? So, because in the real world, your company would send you the thrust rating, your flap configuration, whether it's PAX on or off, whether anti-ice is on or off, right? So the fact that I have to choose these and it spits out speeds, that doesn't really do much for me. You know, I would like a takeoff computer that would pick this. So I'm going to take a guess. We're fairly light. We'll go takeoff 2, flap 1, AC will be on, anti-ice will be off. We'll go flap 5 for cinematic reasons. Typically, at my operator, at least flap 1 is your standard takeoff for an 800. Let's see. Mark, have fun finding anything in the DFB. Yeah, dude. We're figuring it out as we go. But sorry, the dog's going nuts. It's distracted me here. Yeah, we're figuring it out, but it's definitely not intuitive. All right. Gus, welcome, man. How you doing? Christopher, how do you determine which GPS position to use? They're typically the same. It doesn't matter. All you're doing is picking effectively your current position. You could use right, you could use left. I think typically I just use left. Let's see. Gus, ain't the anti-isopod discretion for AWebs? No, dude. It needs to be on the performance data. So if you want to use anti-ice, it has to say anti-ice penalty applied on the AWebs data. So, oh, good catch on the OAT. Put it in as 19F. We'll go 19C. There we go, and we'll calculate that. Okay, so trim is 6.2. So I guess down here it says. So it gave us a D rate, I guess. We'll do takeoff 243. Okay, so we'll do takeoff 2 with a 43 D rate. That's a pretty big D rate there, but that's fine. Flaps 5. Preload the CG 6.2. It auto set the trim, which I don't love. 39, 40, and 44. So we'll set 44. The real airplane does not auto set your trim. That's a manual task in the 7.3. Why can't I turn my flight directors on? All right, scroll wheel. All right, flight directors are coming on. Let's see, we got 39, 40, and 144. So speeds are set, so we can jump up to the overhead and start running that. And real quick, I'm going to pull up. I've got to pull Navigraph charts up here because I can't do the. I don't know how to work the EFB yet. So got the chart pulled up here. Looks like the top altitude of the Zion's is flight level 230, so we'll put 230 in the box here. There we go, 230, 30 on the bank angle, and so I think there's a thing with the controls. I can only use the left mouse wheel right now and turn knobs to the left. I think there's a setting that you can use the right mouse wheel. 4. I just don't have my controls bound correctly yet. Okay, flight control switches are all down. We got speed trim fail, that's fine for now. Yaw damper's on. Nav and display switches are all in normal. Crossfeed's closed. Valves are closed, that's fine. Fuel pumps are off. We'll go ahead and put this on APU generator. We'll get the cabin utility and passenger seats on. Electronic panel is, or electrical panel's good. Close the emergency lights there. We'll get the, ooh, okay, that's cool. So this little, the way the overhead or the overheat light flickers when you turn the heats on, that is correct, and that's very cool how they modeled that. It's pretty neat. Probe heats will stay off. Got the engine anti-ice off. Electric pumps are off. Engine pumps are on. Got the doors. Let's see. Air panel is set. We got the pressurization panel set. Automatic on the mode selector. Get the position lights on. We'll go right for the first start of the day. Alright, so that is all set. MCP, we got flight directors on. Top altitude set. Runway heading V2. I'm not going to set an air return course today just because it's a quick and dirty stream. Alright, we'll get the lights test switch. Here's another thing that iFLY modeled. I think, dare I say, better than PMDG is so you can obviously do the lights test like this. However, if you don't want to do an entire lights test and you just want to know if your equipment light works, you can click on it and you can press to test every light in the airplane. And iFLY modeled this where PMDG did not. So that's pretty cool that they modeled that. Okay, get our autopilot and auto-throttle disconnect lights. Those are good. Gears down. Alternate nose wheel steering. Reset the fuel flow. Auto brakes to RTO. We have 0 high pressure, so we'll fix that with the B pump. There it goes. Okay, B pump's coming back off. We'll do a quick jip whiz test.
Glide slope. Pull up.
Okay.
Wind shear.
Up.
Wind shear.
Park,
Wind shear.
Step trim cutout switches.
Terrain. Terrain. Pull up. Obstacle. Obstacle. Pull up. Sink rate.
Okay, switch
Pull
check
up.
good.
Don't sink.
Clear.
Too low. Terrain.
This.
Too low. Gear.
Fault in off.
Too low.
1, 2, 3,
Flaps.
4, 5, 6. Fire
Glide
test
slope.
is good.
Bank angle. Bank angle.
Fault in up.
Approaching minimums. Minimums. 2,500. 1,000.
Here's your set.
500.
Transponder.
400.
FO's flying.
300.
So we'll go.
200.
Not change that.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Okay, so I guess we can't change the
Wind
sources
shear.
from 1.
Wind shear. Wind shear. Too low. Terrain. Caution.
Type in a
Terrain.
random squawk.
Caution. Terrain.
Go alt off.
Terrain. Terrain. Pull up.
Okay.
Caution. Obstacle. Caution. Obstacle.
Trim
Obstacle. Obstacle.
Okay, so
Pull up.
this is going through the full test, which normally to get that long test you have to push and hold the display. Again, unless the MAX is different, but the NG test is not that long when you just push the button. But all right, looks like our IRSs have aligned. So we'll get these VORs down, get these off, and our fuel is loaded. We need 12.0. We got 12.0 on board, so we can run a quick pre-flight checklist. Let's see. Blackbird, left and right GPS will be off by less than system track anyway. Yeah, pretty much the same. If you see one that's off, if they're drastically different, then I would bust out the plate, look at your current gate position, and figure out which one is accurate, and use that one, and then gripe it. But they're typically exactly the same. All right. Okay. The pre-flight checklist. Let's see. Interior and exterior inspections are complete. Circuit breakers are checked. Nav and display switches are normal and auto. The passenger signs are on. Window heats are on. Engine bleed air switches. Let's see. Those are on. Pressurization panel is set. Mode selectors in auto. Mode control panel is set. Oxygen mask is checked. Altimeters. We got 3003. Cross-checked. Flight nav instruments are verified. We'll arm LNAV off the ground. So we got LNAV armed. Warning and unnecessary lights have been checked. Speed brakes down. The takeoff warning is checked. Engine start levers, or start switches in this case, are cut off. Stab trim cutout switches are normal. Fire warning's been checked. Radios and transponder set. Radar, that's off. Rudder and aileron trims free and zero. The parking brake is set. Windows are closed and locked, which you actually can open these windows, unlike the PMDG. Oh, that's cool. They modeled the little pull tab here that you have to pull to close it. Nice. Windows are closed and locked. The briefings are complete. Logbooks are on board. Fuel required. We got 12.0. We need 12.0. All right, so we'll fire up the APU, go outside and listen to some of Boris's awesome sound pack. So we'll get the left pump on and jump outside. That's pretty good APU sound. I do think the sound pack is going to be one of the absolute wins in this airplane. Great door animation. The tail skid, assuming that it's no different than the NG. This is the two-position tail skid that's part of the short field package, which I understand comes standard on all Maxes. This tail skid should be retracted on the ground. It's tied to landing gear position. But it retracts 5 seconds weight off wheels, or weight on wheels. So after you touch down, the tail skid retracts 5 seconds after the squat switches close, and so you'll never see this tail position in the extended position like this, which is the whole point of this sticker, is that you need to check that the tail skid extends in this green area when it's retracted as part of your pre-flight. So this you would never see this outside of a maintenance condition. Okay, let's get the ground surfaces all put away here. We got good power on the APU gen, so we'll put that on the bus, and we'll start a timer while we get the ground surfaces put away. I get system page, so we can close all the doors. I'm a little confused by iFLY's decision to model the Boeing tablet instead of an iPad. I don't know. Maybe this is more popular with European operators, but in the U.S., I don't know of a single airline that uses this. Let's see, back to system page. Doors menu. How do I get back to ground surfaces? All right, Chad, I'm stuck indoors. How do I get out of here? Menu. I want to go to the systems, but I don't want to go into doors. I want to go into not doors. Maybe if I go somewhere else. Back arrow. Thanks, Mark. Remedial, man. Hey, like I said, you're getting the full experience of day one with this airplane. Okay. All right, so we got the doors, it looks like. We'll get rid of the chocks. We'll disconnect power. We'll disconnect air. And then we'll go page down. Get rid of the galley trucks. Get rid of that. Get rid of all the safety cones. Close the radome. Set. Okay, so that they don't drive off. I guess they just disappear. Okay, and then I guess back here like this, right? Okay. Yeah, Mark, I agree. The UI on the tablet is awful. But you know, and I don't blame iFLY completely because this is accurate to the Boeing tablet. I mean, if you had the PMDG 738 or sorry 7748, they modeled the same tablet and it was terrible when PMDG did it. So I have no doubt that Boeing's tablet is awful in real life. But I just don't know about the decision to model it instead of an iPad Phoenix style. But all right, so in the interest of okay, we got 2 minutes there. All right, so we'll reset that. We'll get the APU bleed on, get both the packs on, and then we'll say that loading is completed. They lock us in. We'll get the fuel pumps, hide pumps, check the doors page, check the doors panel, flight deck doors locked, and then get the transponder going here. All right, the pushback check is complete, so we can go to pushback. Okay. Let's go back 200 feet at a 45. No, 200 feet. And we want to turn the nose gear. So turn the nose gear right to put the nose left, I guess. We'll see. We'll do it on a 45 so that we can recover either way. All right, start now. Beacons on, brakes released, clear to push. Gus, let's see. Boeing UI was done by AI before it was cool. I would argue it was done by AI before it was working, if that's what it came up with. The wing model is really good. They've on a lot of the 7.3s in the sim, the flap canoes match right up with the flaps, and that's not how it works in real life. iFLY has captured that. I mean, you can see right here that there's a little bit of gap where the canoe ends early. It's a really well modeled wing. The textures are clean, but the majority of the MAXs out there are very new airplanes, and so this is kind of the condition of the wing of a lot of the airplanes that I've flown on that are MAXs. So I don't hate the wing textures or the wing model. And then we've got the slats over here, so we'll see if these are Phoenix quality. All right, let's get the engines started. We'll go left pack off, right pack off, and we'll start number 2. Not going to worry about the clock because I don't know what the times are for the leaps on the MAX. Now I got to do the set the parking brake. There we go. Oh, come on. There we go. That's actually really well modeled if it took 3 times to set the parking brake. Okay, so the N2 comes up. We're in the motoring range, so we're doing the bowed rotor motoring. We'll talk in a future stream more in depth about what that is. There we go. All right, motoring is complete. It's spooled up past 25. And we'll introduce fuel. Okay, spar valve, engine valve, there it is. Starter should cut out at, I believe, 63% instead of 56 on the NG. We'll see, but it's in the 60s now instead of 56% on the NG. It's gone up in each series. The Classics was 46, the NGs are 56, and then the Max is 60. I want to say 62. Yep, 63. All right, start valve, starter cutout. EGT's coming down. Seemed like a believable start inside. We'll start number 1 from outside and listen to Boris's sound back. All right, so we'll isolate, ventilate, motor 1. Diabetic lad want to make sure Mr. Engine's nice and straight before we give him fuel. Vent motors and shafts are typically suboptimal. That's true. Believe it or not, we had to do the same thing in the F-16, so it's not necessarily a condition unique to the new generation of turbofans, which I thought it was. The first time I heard about it, it kind of shocked me, but then when I started flying the F-16, we had to do a bowed rotor motoring procedure prior to start there too. So apparently it's a thing that's been around for a while. 732 cutout was 38 to 42%. Yeah, so it's gone up on every single variant of the airplane. Okay, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to introduce fuel. We're going to jump outside and listen to Boris's sounds. The light off sound, no, that was awesome. Yeah, Boris's sounds are incredible. All right, we'll remove the towing lever. Again, I don't love that you have to pull the, I just noticed the bypass pin was in. You'd think that they would automatically do that, but okay. Let's see, we said flap 5, yeah? It seems I do not have the flap sound bug because I do have flap sounds. All right, we'll do a quick control check here from the wing view and then we'll get going. All right, so we got left and right. Whoa. A minute. That's not right. This is a servo tab. It should be moving the other way. So when the aileron deflects up, the servo tab should deflect down, and vice versa. When the aileron goes down, the servo tab should deflect up. So they've got the animation backwards there. Also, the spoilers don't move that fast. They are fly-by-wire, so they move faster than the NG, but they don't move that quick, and they also don't. The max extension of the spoilers for roll is like there. So, okay, here we go. Let's see, we got to do the after start checklist. So we got generator, get the probes on, left pack, auto, APU bleed off. APU is off for this takeoff. And flap 5 is set, check the recall. Alright. Okay, generators are on, probe heat is on, any ice is not required, air conditioning panel is set, recall is checked, and we got the auto brake start RTO. Here we go. The wing flex is nice. I like that. Very subtle. Okay, y'all. So everybody in the Discord told me to put a huge curve on my rudder, so I did. But I did it based on the visual model, so we'll see. We'll see if it was too much or not. CPU door closing. Alright. That's a believable amount of turn, I think, for the rudder. But I've got a massive curve on it. I've got like a 80% curve on the rudder. Where are my pilots? There's no one driving, chat. Oh no, they're there. Wait, but you can't see them from the side. Probably pay attention where I'm going. I think the pilots just painted onto the... No, there they go. They're gone again. The first officer appeared. Alright, pilots are disappearing. Alright, we'll do the 30 knot southwest taxi here. Out to the runway. We'll knock out a taxi checklist as we do. Alright, the flaps are... Let's see. Flaps are 5, 5, 5. Green, takeoff speeds, 39, 40, 44 set. Thrust, we got TO2 43, stab trim, 6.3, and flight controls are checked. Taxi check is complete. Gus, I don't know if you can check the point in the curve. Not at this point, man. We're doing it live. It's a little point of contention that you have to put massive curves on a airplane with a, you know, that's not cheap. Because prior to putting the curve on, the panel went full deflection with about 3/4 of an inch of deflection on my rudder pedals. Which, you can talk about sim limitations, but that's not a sim limitation. Alright. The wing bounce is nice though. Alright, before takeoff checklist here. Start switches, auto throttle. Yep, everyone knows about the spooling issue, being too fast. Expected that one. Alright. Runway position, we got 16 left full length outside, 16 left full length in the box. Flaps are 5 and 5. Green nav briefing, that's complete. Takeoff warnings checked. Auto throttle's armed. Engine start switches are continuous. Transponder is TARA and the flight attendants are notified and acknowledged. Before takeoff checklist is complete. We'll light it up and go here. Cleared to go. Line it up from wing view here. Looks like we have a fairly stiff crosswind from the left. Is that an acceptable V1 lineup? Look at that. I'll take that. For a guy who doesn't taxi? Alright. So we got the lights on, we're clear for takeoff. Here we go. We'll run it up to 40%. We'll release the brakes. Yeah, so that's basically instantaneous throttle movement. It's stable at 40. Toga. Alright, nose forward on the stick. Ooh, Boris's sounds. No, it's spooling down to the D rate. That's fine. 80 knots. Neutralize the forward pressure. It's taking some rudder to keep it from weather baiting into the crosswind. I like that.
V1.
Rotate. Nice, easy rotation. Hold it. There's the click. Up in the flight directors. Pause rate gear up.
Southwest 1422. You are not cleared to take off.
Yeah, the refresh rate on the displays seems a little laggy. This dynamic stall indicator seems quite twitchy. Alright, there's 1,000 feet VNAV. Pitch it over and accelerate. Flap 1. Flaps up and after, autopilot. Anti-ice is not required, air panel is all set, pressurization is looking good, start switches come off, APU's off. Gear stays up, there's no off position anymore. And the flaps are up. And after takeoff check is complete. Default ATC, yeah. I need to figure out something better for ATC. Why is my GPWS in op now? Is that doesn't seem like it should be like that. Go direct to Hopto and LNAV. The sounds are really good. So the speed tape you can kind of see on stream, and it's not the stream because it's this way on my screen as well. It's laggy. It's stuttery. Not much, but just enough that it doesn't look quite fluid enough. The flight director bars should also be thicker. So when these flight director bars are crossed like this in the center, they should take up that black space in the flight director. For the most part, there should be just a tiny little, maybe a pixel or two on each corner. Do you guys delete climb 1 or climb 2? Some people do. It's a technique. I personally don't, because I think that wear on the engines is a bigger deal than gas. You know, I mean, coming from a general aviation background, it's long been my opinion that the least expensive thing that you can put in an engine is fuel. And so I'd rather burn fuel than do any kind of tricks, you know, to save gas. But that's, you know, just me. I've seen plenty of captains 1,000 feet delete the climb power, and up we go. All right, there's 10. Get the taxi light off. Wheel well light off. Check the pressurization. Good. We'll scroll this all the way up to 30. All right. So, initial impressions. The modeling is pretty good. The geometry, I mean, it's solidly in the realm of what I would expect for Microsoft 2020. Ugh, they have the second jump seat. Gross. I don't know about the ambiance. It seems a little bit sterile to me, right? Like, just everything is absolutely pristine, very clean. Going back to the wing view, see how the wings are bouncing around at her. Expect a little bit more wing flex. As far as the manipulators, I don't love the standard. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Climb check is complete. And we can go light off. So the manipulators, left and right mouse click, but some switches, so like the flight director, okay, so like that's a great example. So you can click the flight director off with a left click, but you can't click it on. You have to scroll wheel it up. There's some goofiness with the manipulators there. And then just some small stuff, you know, some model and animation things that they can clean up. It looks good. Okay, what's going on with these pilots? Let's go to drone cam. I want to see if there's pilots in this thing. Okay, there are definitely pilots in the airplane in this view. There are definitely not pilots in the airplane from this view. Where are my pilots? My pilots are disappearing. Oh, I think it's a LOD thing. No pilots. Zoom in, pilots. No pilots, pilots. There it is. So it's a LOD issue with the model. AJ, yeah, at least the manipulators are not as bad as the CRJ. That is true. As far as performance, hand flying on takeoff, it seemed okay. We'll see on landing how it does. Gus, hiding objects the way to say polygon, yeah, I get that. I don't know if I would have used the pilots in the front to do that. I don't know. This tablet is not ruining it, but it's frustrating to use. The fact that we don't have a better way. You know, I think the problem is that Phoenix just set the bar. You don't have to do anything, any crazy setup to get SimBrief working. You just type in your SimBrief ID. You know, you park at the gate. All the ground vehicles automatically come up, load your airplane in real time. They automatically go away. They close the doors when they leave. You know, it automatically pulls your fuel and your route. And I think we're just spoiled by Phoenix. Now, granted, Phoenix had a huge leg up in that they had ProSim to do all this. So all their avionics modeling was done, and they just had to build a model and turn it into a sim add-on. So in that sense, they should have gotten it right. But I think it's very hard then to go from that to this. You know, where you're even if you're able to navigate this quickly, you're still manually having to load your fuel, manually having to put your weights in, as opposed to just having it all pull off in SimBrief. Gus, Flap 15 approach, yeah, we can do that. Yeah, Gus, so I'm speaking less about the UI of the tablet and more the decision to integrate the sim features, you know, like ground ops and aircraft setup into the tablet this particular way. You know, you could have done it the way the FSS did, where, you know, this is a Boeing tablet simulation. You have the guy's phone down here. You click on to get ground stuff. Had the jet do it automatically. I don't know. Overall, the cockpit just seems a little bit clean, and I don't get the same vibe. So the PMDG cockpit is much darker than this, as far as it just doesn't seem like it lets in as much light, which is accurate to me. When I walk into a Boeing cockpit, the initial impression is it's dark because the windows are small. 1,000 ago. This seems a little bit too open and, you know, light, but that could have been an artistic choice. The overhead's modeled okay. I haven't really dove into the systems much, just because I haven't had time for it. But, you know, like 31 volts on the battery before we hooked up ground power. I don't think that this is going to dethrone the PMDG as the most accurate 737 sim we have. Now, I'm 100% willing to concede that this looks better. Right. I mean, the wing model, the wing flex, all of this looks better. But as far as the systems behind the scenes, I think that you know, I think that the PMDG is still superior. Gus, dark cockpit is realistic. Well, yes, yeah, not, you know, X-plane is kind of on the other extreme, but and don't get me wrong, it's very bright outside. Like, you're wearing sunglasses in the airplane because it's so bright out the windows. But this area of the airplane is dark. Because, you know, there's small windows. Ooh, that's cool. Phantom, you may have found a fix for the ridiculous spool times. Alright, alright. Wait, are these? No. Did they model circuit breakers? Why do I have a click spot here? Oh no. Okay, they didn't. Yeah, so I mean the modeling is accurate. It just looks a little bit too sterile for me, which, you know, you can come along, and I'm sure that other painters will come along and scuff this up, you know, beat it up a little bit, make it look a little bit more used and abused. I'm not sure about the colors on the PFD. They seem a little bit light. Blackbird, got to bounce for a bit because I need my brand red new inventory program. I'll pop back in and see. All right, dude. Yeah, we're going to descend into Vegas and then call it. But thanks for joining in, man. So, you know, on the surface level, all the switches move that should move. I do like that, you know, you can click the lights and they work. That's cool. And the sounds are neat. You know, the external model looks really good. Things like the tail skid and the spoilers. It's small stuff that can be corrected, but it just does kind of point to the fact that the system depth is not quite as accurate as the PMDG NG is. Not saying PMDG is perfect. It can't do a flat 15 landing, which we can do today, but you know, it's still a very good. I mean, the fact that you can use it to train for a type rating is pretty incredible. AJ, I'm just amazed at the empty and wasted space of the PFD below the flight info box. Yeah, this this massive spot right here. You know, frankly, I'm kind of surprised they didn't like put the flight info box down here and make the PFD go all the way across, right? But maybe then they were afraid that this would obstruct your view of the altitude info. That's actually probably exactly why they didn't do that, was because this info would be lost back here. Yeah, you'd think you could put something there. Some kind of repeater of FMS data that could go up here, comm radios, something, yeah. It's funny that that's just blank. And to be fair, again, Chad, this is my first flight in the airplane. It's my very first, you know, impressions of it. So, you know, I'm sure that I don't have the bindings set up the way that I should. But we'll see. We'll keep flying it. Let's see. Let's get set up into Vegas. So we got 25. Got 259. So we'll set 259 in both courses. All right. We'll try not to V1 ourselves here, and we'll put the right nav frequency in. So it's going to be 111.5. Okay, this is cool. So they've modeled the NMR correctly. So in the PMDG, you can type in an ILS frequency here regardless of the mode, and it'll take it, which is not the way the real aircraft works. In the real aircraft, you have to toggle the mode to ILS, and then you can type in the freak and swap it. So they did model the MMR better. There we go. ILS channel 111.5 set twice. AJ, off to meeting number 3. All right, we'll catch you on the backside. Gray shirt. First flight on stream is a pro streamer move for sure. We'll see. Zebo MMR also presents here. Okay. Yeah, Zebo's a pretty fantastic product. We'll let him roam for a little bit. I guess we'll go check out the lab. Oh, you can't lock yourself in. What if somebody busts in on you? That volume needs to be way higher. Do you guys remember? I don't know. As a kid, the toilet used to scare the hell out of me. You know, you hit the flush button, nothing would happen for a second, and then, I mean, as a kid, that was loud. It muffles when you close the lid, though. That's cool. Hey V1, what's up, man? We're just taking our mid-cruise bathroom break. Does this thing work? Try the corners. Yeah, I still don't sit on it while flushing, right? Like, dude, that's a foundational memory for me, is how insanely loud those toilets were. Oh, this is pretty cool. IFE. Oh. IFE mutes your sim. Interesting. Actually, I think I broke it. I don't have any sim volume anymore. Oh no. Chat, is that a hidden click spot to turn your sim volume off? Broke the sounds. Oh no. Maintenance, how do we fix it? I wonder if they'll go back if we go in the cockpit. Wait, how do I get back in the cockpit? Oh wait, why are we paused? Chat, we're not moving. What happened? Oh no. Did we broke it. Is this active pause? Oh, what? Wait. Hang on. Is that a feature? IFE on, pause the sim? I did not hit P on the keyboard. Sus. I don't know. I was messing around back here and the sim paused. Alright, well, let's get back in the cockpit before we mess anything else up. Alright, flock us back in here. All right, not allowed in the back anymore. What was flashing on the? At least they idiot-proofed it. They pilot-proofed it. It said, "Click here to unpause sim." And so I clicked on it, and now we're back. But, oh man. Yeah, I don't want that. I don't want the flight attendants able to sabotage our flight. Dude, yeah, maybe if you're in the loop for too long, it pauses your flight. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, well we'll get set up for the arrival here. So we'll double check all the points. So we got Shafter Stew, Wriggle. Hertz Preno at 8. Okay, and then we'll just join that right up to Reland. We'll do flap 15. See how it does in flap 15. Got the flap ground proximity warning flipped. All right, we'll do brake 1. No reason to burn the brakes up going into Vegas. It's hot. We would send the landing performance report. We got the ILSs set. Got both inbound courses set. We got the V1 frequencies set. All right, we are all set for descent. And we'll say that they gave us pilot's discretion to descend via. Let's take a look at the FMS and see if we can. Let's see, so VNAV, cruise. We're going down at 330. That's a little quick, so we'll put 300 here. And then I wonder if, so in the real jet you can put a waypoint altitude in at cruise and it'll hold. So we'll go, we're not going to do a visual today, but if we were, we can go 26 left here and dump it in. Yeah, it won't let you. Okay, so we'll wait and see if it'll let us do that as we descend down. Where we will put it is we'll go and we'll put in our fixed rings of 10 nautical miles. There we go. And we're all set up. The big screens. This is very A220-ish. You know, having the big screens like this, I think is better for situational awareness as far as the map goes. And the other thing it allows you to do is bring your VSD up and still have a display that's, you know, probably a bit larger than the NG. Mark, got around later, dude. Try not to break anything. Yeah, I'm just not going to touch anything that I don't know what it does anymore. See you, man. Thanks for joining in. So that's pretty cool, having the big map. Having the big map up there. FMSs seem like they work pretty well. We'll see how VNAV does on the way downhill. But we should be all set up. So we'll just go back here to wing view. Now we just need the delivery painters to give us some real working jets, you know. But like I said, and Southwest tends to keep their new airplanes pretty clean with that kind of glossy, with the gloss paint job. Like this is completely believable for a Southwest Max, you know, having the reflection of the winglet in the top of the wing. No, I don't even have IFE screens. Although this is, what's clickable here? Oh, that's the overhead bins. Oh no, how do I close them? I can't close them. Oh, there we go. There we go. You gotta click up, I guess. How's the wing flex? I think, and this is just my opinion, I think it needs to curve a little bit more up right by the wingtip. It seems too straight to me. And it's also pretty static, like it's not moving around that much, really. You know, I mean, it kind of seems like there's very little curve in the leading edge here. I would think that this would kind of curve up a little bit more, but gray shirt, if you land like V1, the bids should pop open. So there was a streamer that claimed that if you slam it on, it'll pop a bin. Which, if that's true, I take back anything I've said that's negative. If I smash this thing and a bin pops open, best add-on ever. Phantom, I agree. The animation is good when it is moving, but it should bend a little more. Yeah, it should bend a little bit more towards the wingtip here, and I think it should just be moving a little bit more in general. Yeah, I think I was getting lucky, Gus. We'll see. Although flap 15's a butter machine in the 7.3, it's kind of hard to have a bad flap 15 landing. Let's see, what do we want? I'm going to start a poll. Do we want to do flap 15 or do we want to do flap 40? Let's see here. Not the frozen butters from P1. Dude, I'm reeling in the trash talk a little bit because it seems like this weekend I'm going to have to put my money where my mouth is. There you go, start poll. Put my money where my mouth is, and I've been flying the DC-6 just to practice in case. Yeah, we need, you know, like some spilled coffee down here. Ooh, that's cool. Max has a charging port. That's cool. Yeah, it's true. There's not dirty, juicy flap texture, so flap 40 may be mid. Escape rope. I don't know. I think it's a solid effort. You know, we'll see how the LNAV and the descent and everything goes. I think there was a little bit of hype going on, you know, with all the streamers going, I'm deleting my PMDG. This is the standard. Yeah. You know, because like, I mean, from this view, I can't really tell a difference between the iFLY model and the PMDG, and the PMDG model is better than a lot of people give it credit for. In that, Bro starts a channel called Full Flap Sim, only does one flap full landing in 5 streams. Touché, my friend. Yeah, Gus. Just like V1 never pulling an RTO. Yeah, what's with that? I've become a fan of flaps 40 because getting the correct flaps is kind of a pain on my throttle. So the Max, truly, in real life, flap 40 is a much more common flap setting from my understanding. Because when you slow to flap 40, well, so a reason that you don't use flap 40 very much in the NG is the flap speeds tend to bump up against approach speeds. Pardon me. Bump up against approach speeds. So here, 160 knot. These speeds I think are different because these are the same as the NG. I was under the impression the Max had higher flap speeds. Maybe not. But the other thing is they improved, or didn't improve, but they moved the vortex generators and the vortilons on the wing. So these little things out here are called vortilons, and the NG has 3 of them. These 3. The Max has additional vortilons added, and those energize the flow of air over the outboard wing. And from what I hear, they make the ailerons more responsive during a flap 40 landing, which makes people more willing to do flap 40 landings. So my buddies who fly the MAX say that they tend to land the MAX flap 40 more than they do the NG. Got this all set. Progress. The VNAV descent page. But you know, I say PMDG has small models, small details right on their model, but so does iFLY. Like the flap canoes, the way they line up with the wing. You know, they've got the little bracket here that you put the rope on when you dive off the wing. I noticed the outboard edge of the flap is modeled better in the iFLY. It's a good model. It's a really good model. I just think that some of the small details need refinement. Gray shirt, is auto throttle on for landing more common in the MAX or still operator SOP? I don't know. So at many operators, auto throttle is prohibited anytime that autopilot is off. So if you're landing the airplane and you turn the autopilot off, you have to turn the auto throttles off. And the reason is that when you add power or remove power, because the engines are so low in relation to the CG, the aircraft pitches up or down, and Boeing wants you to be in tune with power correction, so that the auto throttle doesn't add a whole bunch of power and pitch the airplane up when you're not expecting it, type thing. I don't know if that's changed in the MAX. I would guess not, just given the fact that they had to add a MCAS system to deal with the low slung engines, but I don't know. Gus, the MAX has different shape than the NG, needs less vortex generators, and has better high-speed bump gear. I was under the impression, Gus, that the NG wing and the MAX wing are the same, minus the vortex generator and port-to-launch changes. I'm not saying you're wrong, but just all the people who I've talked to say that inboard of the advanced technology winglet, the wing is the same, airfoil-wise. The 200 can go all the way up to 0.84. Really? Okay. Oh, the MAX8 200 or the Dash 200? Yes. John Seifert, hey, first time catching you live. Came over here from V1 Sim streams. Don't hold that against me. Nah, dude, V1's a good friend. He's actually in chat right now. So, thanks for coming over, man. V1 is the Airbus streamer, but if you're looking to fly some Boeing content, I can help you do that. Come on over, like and subscribe. But no, I catch all V1 streams, man. He's great. I'm not saying you're wrong, but you're not right. Flap 15 simulations. I think you're right, Gray Shirt, that American does auto throttle on. I've actually got a buddy at American I could ask. I think you're correct. But Boeing, the thing with all these airline procedures, Boeing and Airbus, they have recommendations for how you fly the airplane, but at the end of the day, it's up to the airline, in working with the FAA to develop their own SOPs and procedures. And so there's nothing that says that an airline has to adhere to Boeing's recommendations. So it's very possible that American, did some flight testing of their own and decided that, there was no need for that auto throttle restriction, and so they got rid of it. John, yeah, I tuned in the channel against pull about flap full or flap 15. I was confused. Of course, I voted for full flap. All right, we'll end the poll. See how we did here. All right. Looks like flap 15 took it. Actually, how about this? As a man of the people, do we have time? Yeah, we got time. All right, as a man of the people, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a flap 40 approach to a go-around to a flap 15 full stop. So that's what we'll do. We'll plan on flap 40 for the first one. And we'll do that so that we have to move the flaps on the go-around. So we'll do full flaps, do a go-around, then we'll come back around, we'll do a flap 15 landing to check the flight dynamics. Look at that. Making everyone happy. Diabetic lad, boo, more flaps. Okay, well, we'll making everybody except diabetic lad happy. Gus, I did update the LAS scenery again, and then I locked the file that Vodka told me to lock, and we'll see. If it doesn't work this time, I'm uninstalling it. All right, so we'll sync the heading up. Still no auto sync in the old maximum. Get our VSD up for descent. And down we go. So this is unusual in that we're below path, but we're still doing 2,000 feet a minute. Typically when the airplane's below path, it'll go to 1,000 foot per minute rated descent until it catches the path, and then it'll keep going down. Chat's behind. I'm game for the go around. You explained it after I sent that. Okay. All right. So flap 40, go around, vectors for the downwind. Which means we actually need to type in that's not what I wanted. So LAS. LAS. Las Vegas. We want the 066 radial and roughly 3 dB. That's in case we pop an engine, but we're going to do a twin engine go around. Twin engine go around, just simulate loss of spacing on final. Not uncommon in the 7.3. Matter of fact, happened to me in Phoenix a couple days ago. Where, you know, ATC puts you behind an A220 or an A319 coming down final at 120 knots, and you're in a heavy 800 doing 160. And, you know, ATC said, hey, take speed 130 if you can. And we said unable, and just lost spacing on final and had to go around. So that's one of the most kind of likely go around scenarios. So that's what we'll model today. We won't model an engine failure or anything like that, but should be fun. And then we'll get to play with this thing and kind of see how the modeling is on it as far as go around and configuring. So it looks like we're back on the path. John, on a go around an airliner, is the flap retraction procedure the same as GA planes like the 172 positive climb? So it depends. So and you've got V1 in the chat as well as me, so you can get the Boeing and the Airbus perspective. In the 7.3, the go-around flap setting is 15. So if you are at flap 40, flap 30, or flap 15, and you do a go-around, the flaps come to 15 immediately when you execute the go-around. In the Airbus 220, the flap setting was either 4 or 2, depending on your landing flap setting. So if you were landing at flap 4, you retracted to 2. If you were landing flap 5, you retracted to 4 on the go-around. So that was the go-around procedure in those two airplanes. So similar to a 172 positive climb, except although you bring those flaps up just immediately prior to a positive rate coming up, because 15 is going to be your max lift flap setting, and so you're effectively just getting drag removed from the airplane, so you don't need to wait for a positive rate. ATC missing the fact that the 800 is Cat D, yeah. V1, do we need anything for the glide slope issue? Yeah, right. This is fun. V1 and I are, we figured that we're both going to be in Vegas tonight, so going to listen up on the radio. Okay, coming back. So again, the VNAV is not really doing itself any favors here. It's trying to slow down and go down, which is a no-go. So we're going to pop the speed brakes up. On the 320 series, is go around flap, whatever setting you have, move it up one. So if you're go around full, go around flap 3, and if you're config 3, go around flap 2. Okay, so the VNAV in the actual airplane is better than this at hitting speed and altitude restrictions, because we're gonna blow through this 250 knots at Tattoo here. We might blow through 250 at 10. So the real airplane will build a path down to the restriction, and then it will build a level off where its descent rate is significantly reduced to about 1,000 feet a minute, so that it can decelerate without standing on the speed brakes like I am now. John Seifert, yeah, dude, you're welcome, man. As you can see, the 7.3 is way more user-friendly, because you don't have to go subtracting settings or thinking, what am I at? You just go around flap 15. Superior. Gus, yeah, I'm gonna just wait until V1's on file and then ask for a wind check on tower. All right, so yeah, iFLY VNAV is not fantastic. It doesn't fly the profile the way that the actual airplane would, in that it doesn't build those decelerating shelves, and it's also blown every speed restriction on the arrival, so that needs some work. The speed brakes also don't come up that far in real life. The flight D10 is about there. Can you do vertical direct 2s in the Boeing? No. You could in the Adoptibus, but you can't do it in the Boeing. You're constrained to whatever the path has for you, unless you go back to basic mode like level change or something like that and do it by hand, but you can't do a vertical direct 2 and then VNAV it and have the jet go to it. Gray shirt, does PMDG have better VNAV? Significantly, yeah. All right, here comes speed check flap 1. Yeah, so you can see the step in the wing out the tip here. That's not modeled on the PMDG, and that is correct geometry. I have to check to see if this is a max difference, but in the NG, if you're in VNAV and you go flap 1, this will go to path, which is correct, but it will also kick you to the maneuver speed for flap 1. So I would expect that the speed bug would go down to the flap 1 maneuver speed as soon as I put the flaps down, unless I open the speed window. So in this case, I would have to open the speed window and go 210. Could be a max difference, but that's what I would expect it to do. All right, so we'll say we've been cleared for the approach. So we'll go, we'll do a localizer mode, altitude, VNAV with the speed window open. All right, Orloc is intercepted. Here comes 259. Another question of the flight detent. Can you, on the speed brakes, flight detent? Yeah, you can. You could pull past the flight detent. it takes a pretty hefty pull to do it. But you could absolutely pull past this flight T10 and go all the way up. When you let go, the speed brake will retract to the flight D10. John Sievert, so trying to understand what you said earlier, so basically flap 30 and 40 in a Boeing are not producing any lift, just drag. Therefore, reducing to flap 15 won't produce anything. That's correct. For the most part, it's simplified. I mean, there's obviously a little bit of lift being generated there, but the majority is drag. And so, yes, retracting from 30 or 40 to 15 immediately won't produce a sink because the majority of what you're removing is drag. All right, down we go. Looking across this 15 nautical mile fix at 210 knots, flaps 1, which we are. And now we can try it. We're shooting across the 10 mile fix from the airport at 180 knots, flaps 5. So we can dial that into the speed window here. I would expect, so 250 knots is flaps 5 speed. This is about the deceleration I would expect with flaps 5 out. So I believe flap 5 is going to add too much drag. So if we add flap 5 and the speed comes right back to 180, that's inaccurate. So here comes flaps 5. And yeah, you see that big deceleration as flap 5 comes in. That's not present on the actual aircraft. Okay, so we say we clear to land. Didn't do a descent check, that's fine. Flaps 5, dragging is flaps 10. Yeah, exactly, Gus. So, on the majority of straight 7.3s, the flap 10 will extend the slats to the full extend position, which gives you a little bit more drag. And so flap 10 speed brake is the most draggy configuration you have with the gear up. In this case, and usually you'll end up needing flap 10 coming down the glide slope like this. So, all right, Reland is our next fix. We'll go ahead and select approach. That puts us in approach jail. We've got Borlo glide slope. We'll say set 6 for the mist. Actually, chat, does anyone know what the mist approach altitude is for 26 left? I don't have the plate in front of me because I don't know how to work my iFLY EFB. The MAX has SFP by default or still optional? I believe it has SFP by default. But I have not been able to get to the bottom of that yet. Alright, gear down, flap 15 so we don't get the gear horn. Alright, start switches to continuous, arm the speed brakes, match the speed. And now we can set VREF 40, which is 134, so we'll start at 140. Alright, speed check, slap 25. Flap 30. And flap 40 and a landing check. Got gears down. Flaps are 40, 40 green. Speed brakes on. Start switch to continuous. Clear to land. Alright. That's a good looking flap model. It's a good looking flap model. We'll just go up to 8,000 on the downwind. That's fine. Let's see, how's our glide slope looking? Hey, two whites, 2 reds. We might have fixed it, chat.
1,000.
1,000 feet, clear to land. Mist is set. 8,000. go ahead and click off here. So that's off. Autopilot's off, auto throttle is off. V1, I'm not having any noise issues with my throttle, like you were, so I don't know if that might be a hardware issue.
300.
Alright. Coming down, they say, you know, lost spacing, go around.
200.
Alright, so go around flap 15. Okay, so power comes up, set about 85%, up on the command guards, positive rate gear up. Alright, LNAV, go around is verified. Alright, there's 1,000 feet, we'll go flap 5, we'll remain in toga. Auto throttle can come back on. And we'll just go heading select straight out, and we'll level change at update down to 8,000 feet after takeoff check. We'll stay at flap 5 for now, and then we'll turn downwind. That's pretty, the go around mech is actually pretty good. 160. Missed approach is climb to 32 then, right? Okay, we'll just do a visual pattern then. Just kind of pick up a right downwind for 26. Gray shirt, it's his niche hardware. Yeah, the Thrustmaster Warthog works fine. All right, we'll run the speed up to 220. Okay, speed check, flap 1. $1,000 to go. Flaps up after takeoff check. Alright, so we'll go brake 3 for the flap 15 full stop. We'll pop the flap inhibit switch. I still don't know why this is saying in-op when my ground proc switch is in-op. Oh, or maybe that's the RAS. Is that RAS? Yeah, because this is the ground procs in-op, so this must be RAS for some reason is unhappy with me. Digital mark, I got some throttle noise on my Bravo and moving speed breaker flap levers. Okay. We'll go flap 15, we'll reselect the ILS. We could do a high energy visual from here, see how that works. Take it off at pre now. We'll go to the legs page, we'll get reelin. Put it up here, throw a 259 course in, so that's all set. And then we'll take runway 26 left, go to the descent page. There it is, okay. So this, I should be able to put runway 26 left in as my waypoint and get my altitude to it. That's right, we'll do it live. So that's another feature that iFLY hasn't decided to model. All right, 210, flap 1. It's not noise, it's like it expects me to constantly move the throttle position to match the other throttle position. Yeah, so I expected to have something like that, but I just if I leave my throttles at full power the whole flight, it seems happy with it. Okay, so we're at altitude holds. We'll spin in the visual approach altitude. And we'll say that Vegas turns us in. So, we'll go here. We'll go level change at 210. Idle power, speed brakes, down we go. Alright. Go flap 5. Spin it down to 210. Or 200 rather. Go flap 10, that's the max flap setting with speed brake. Ooh, I like the spoiler shake. That's kind of cool. All right. We'll get established on a downwind here. Real world, I'd have the vertical speed required pulled up in the FMS. In here, we'll select Warlock. Okay, Warlock is captured. So we'll set 259, heading to course. There it comes. Got the localizer, so we can select approach now. There's glide slope. Spin down 180. Speed brake's coming in. There we go. We got the glide slopes. We'll set 6 for the mist. There's a high energy visual. Phantom, yours doesn't do that. Do you have the same hardware? Okay. On the glide, we'll go gear down, flap 15.
2,500.
On the speed brakes. And we'll set the command speed, which is going to be 143. We'll set 150. All right, we got gears down 3 green, flaps are 15 green, speed brake is arm, start switch to continuous, we're clear to land. Phantom, you're using the Bravo, okay. Yeah, so chat, this is exactly what I would expect here, right? So we've got our flap 15 ref, we added 5 knots, angle of attack is right around 3 degrees. Little bit above 3, but that's accurate. Matter of fact, I would add a couple of knots here just to get that to 3. At about 2.5 degrees nose up, so that's a correct pitch and power setting for a flat 15 landing. Okay.
1,000.
All right, 1,000 feet. Clear to land, clicking off. See what we do here. So just a little fast on the AOA, maybe 2.8 degrees, but that's fine. Got the LAS glide slope fixed, and it's compatible with the iFLY, so that's nice.
300. 200.
This does hand fly nice. Hand flies nice and smooth. Ducking just a little bit low.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Ooh, nose comes down quick. Not sure why G's didn't pick that up. Alright, speed brakes up, 80 knots. Manual brakes. It does a much better flap 15 than the PMDG. Catch up on the chat here, as we'll hold short between the runways and we'll catch up on the chat. Alright, start switches come to off, flaps up, speed brakes. Chill here. Set that to altitude off. Get the lights. Do V1's job for him. There we go. Get the APU coming. All right. Let's see. Yeah, it's interesting that everyone's having different experiences with the throttle hardware, but the Thrustmaster Warthog seems to be doing pretty good. Ooh, Phantom, a fully motorized 737 quadrant. DM me, dude. V1, how common are flat 15 landings? Not very. Matter of fact, a lot of operators it's considered a non-normal, and you can't do them unless the QRH dictates. My company has no problem with it, so we can do them as normal landings. And so we're kind of encouraged to, just so that the first time you do one is not during an engine failure. But a lot of people are worried about it because they think the VREF is significantly higher. But the way the landing data works out, it's like maybe a 600-foot difference in your landing roll. It's nothing crazy. But the brake cooling times do go up, so you have to take a look at those. Gust, use VRF plus half headwind component and all the gust. Yeah, so fighter jocks, not AOA. So the AOA is specific to the 7.3 short field package, which this airplane has, and I'll do a stream on that at some point because it gives you much better landings. So, no, yeah, shoot, no flight recorder, no G's, man, rookie move. The real streamer comes in and I mess it all up. All right, we'll cross the runway here. That's okay. I'm bumping up on my time anyway. I had G's pulled up though. I have like G's EXE is open in my system tray, so I don't know why it didn't pick up. Okay, so we'll taxi on in. So I don't know, chat. So my initial impressions of the iFLY are it's a good start, but it's still incomplete. VNAV needs work. The model is good. I think the textures are a little bit bland. You know, it looks a little too sterile. And the and kind of the user interface, user experience stuff needs a little bit of love. The flight model is good for the most part. It hand flies very well. Here's something I like, is that they, if you slam your hardware over, the ailerons move at what would be considered a realistic speed for a hydraulically controlled control surface. So, which I think that's a good bit, probably a good reason why the flight model is so stable. So they've got something good going here. It's just, in my opinion, it was not ready for release. Hence why it's early access, I suppose. The VNAV needs a little bit of work. The FMS could be a little bit more complete. And the model, you know, as far as textures and stuff go, could use a little bit of work. But I think in time, you know, and I think most streamers have actually said this, in time, if they stick with it, it has a lot of potential. So I think the final answer of will this kick the PMDG 7.3 off my system completely depends on whether iFLY sticks to finishing development and getting it updated and things like that. But they have a good start, but it's not quite there yet. Does AOA aid in landings or part of the stall protection type thing? It's more part of, again, we'll go into this in a dedicated stream, but the reality of airline weight and balance is that you generally don't actually know how much your airplane weighs because the weight balance is based off of so many assumptions, such as standard passenger weight and assumptions for how much a carry-on weighs and things like that. So there could actually be a decent difference between how much the airplane actually weighs and how much your paperwork says it weighs. And so your speeds, which are all based on the numbers that were put in, may not be 100% correct. So if you reference a landing angle of attack, that effectively normalizes all those errors so that you have an airplane that's flying the correct speed for its weight at all times. So that's the short version. We'll get into the longer version on it on another stream. There we go. Stopped. Park and brake. Let them up. Swap them. Chop them. And get the shutdown checklist done. Flight directors come off. Get the trim to back down to 5. Forces sounds really take the cake on this add-on. All right, chat. That's it. Unfortunately, I did not run the flight recorder or G's, so we have no proof of how good that landing is. But I'm coming up on my time load anyway, so I got to run. So I'll do a quick last look at the chat here. Yeah, 250 hour stream remove, more like 2.5 hours stream remove. Caught the tail end of the stream, Dreamerosity. Yeah, we're just finishing up actually. The Adobe Airlines Hub. Yeah, all the we got Microsoft default. Chat, I need help getting this looking more realistic. So I'm remedial, need some help with the textures and things like that. AI traffic, that'll be our project. All right. John Seifert, yeah, thanks for answering all your questions, man. No worries. I enjoy it. Thanks for joining me on this first look at the iFLY 7.3. We'll be flying it more. It's staying on the system for sure. And we can dive into some more things. But I think overall it's going to be nice to have a MAX in the sim, just so that we can dive into some more of the avionics differences between the MAX and the NG. And it's also nice to have a 7.3 that's in active development for the sim, so that we know that we've got something going into 2024. So thanks for joining me, guys. Appreciate it. And we'll catch you on the next one. See ya.